Hello, I'm Lucy Baldwin. Welcome to Hot Seat. Welcome to the Hot Seat, Ulysses.
Thank you.
Do I have your consent to share this video publicly?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'd like to let you know that you have a safe word, which is red.
Red. Okay.
So if you feel too much sensation or like you want me to just go into caregiving mode, just say red.
Mhm. Okay.
Great. So tell me about your, tell me something about yourself that you maybe feel like you try to hide.
Hmm. I think that what's coming up for me today about something that I try to hide about myself is in different situations, I find myself hiding either my masculinity or my femininity. For me, I'm a non-binary person. And I find that I'm still struggling with being able to be that fullness in each of my spaces because I feel like I have a very balanced internal masculine and internal feminine. But because of the outward perceptions of who I should be in any given situation or space with different people, I find that either my whatever's perceived as my masculine gets taken as aggressive if I'm supposed to be feminine, supposed to be a woman, or it gets taken, my femininity gets taken as soft or weak if I'm supposed to be in a situation that's more masculine. It's very strange. And so I find that I'm constantly balancing those outward perceptions of me and constantly now in this habit of mitigating or hiding either one so that I'm not threatening in a situation.
So you don't want to be threatening.
No, I don't, I guess.
Why not?
I think it's because I have struggled to find community for a lot of my life. So I still find myself in the habit of trying to mitigate different parts of me in order to fit into community rather than just being loud and proud and sensationally juicy and letting it all happen and allowing community to come to me based on that. So it's an old habit that dies hard.
So you're blocking community.
I guess so, yeah. In trying to find community, I am blocking community.
What do you love about holding yourself back?
I love the safety that I feel when I hold myself back. Scarcity feels comfortable and safe to me. That was one of my biggest realizations this past August, was that scarcity feels super comfortable. Like, I know how to deal with scarcity. We're old friends. Like, I know how to get my resources. I know how to work my magic. I know how to do everything within the scarcity zone. But I hit a plateau with scarcity of just comfortable and safe and good, where everything's just good. I don't get to thrive. I don't get to be super abundant. I don't get to have enough to really pass on to others in that space. And I stay there because it's very comfortable. I feel like if I was to be very loud, very vivacious, very me, that I would make myself a target for a lot of hate and potentially a target for I have, very abusive people that were in my past. And part of me still feels like, oh my gosh, if I'm really out there, they're going to find me again and try and take me down again. And I'm going to have to go through that abuse again. And so there's this fear that old exes will come back to attack me. So this is like a safe zone for me. If I'm quiet, if I'm under the rug, if I don't live my life too loud, then I'll get to live at all.
How does that say when you feel, sorry, how does that feel when you say that?
It feels sad, honestly. It feels really sad. It's a thing that it's like I'm grateful for what I have, but it's not how I want to live. I do feel very sad. I feel like, in a sense, those people are still winning in my life. They're still keeping me from my fullness. I know that's not true. It's really me. It's me keeping me from my fullness. Although there is, there is kind of that very real danger from the outside. It's there. It's real. But yeah, I just feel sad. I just feel really fucking sad. I'm kind of bitter about it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I feel like I want to keep going. So, what is it about this sadness that you are holding on to?
Hmm. Hmm. I don't think about that for a second. I think what's coming up for me is that I'm repeating pain patterns in order to validate them because I feel like they weren't validated by external sources or by any other part of my life. So in a way, it's like I keep replaying my pain over and over again for myself because I feel like if I don't, then will it have even happened? If I'm the only one holding on to my story, what if I forget my story? What if I, start losing myself again and losing my truth in that story? Because when, the kind of abuse that I was going through was very gaslighty. And it was extreme to the point where, for one of my abusers, I didn't even know the ceiling from the floor unless they told me. And, really, they would just tell me they were different for fun sometimes. So my whole sense of reality was fucked. Excuse my language. And so this repetition of that sadness and those little bits of pain and is a way for me almost to stay grounded in reality. And I think I'm at a point where I need a new way to ground in reality and need to know that I don't have to repeat my pain over and over again in order for it to still be mine, in order for it to still be what happened to me and my history and my truth. I'm not going to lose myself again.
Who would
Yeah.
you be without that pain?
I don't know. And I almost don't want to know. It almost doesn't matter to me because I could go off on a tangent thinking that I would have been somebody who has a PhD by now and
I'm sorry, I don't mean if you had never had that pain. I mean if you just dropped it right now.
oh, okay, if I dropped it like right now, I would be very loud. Probably a lot more motivated to be visible. I wouldn't struggle so much with posting online about anything that I'm building or working with. I would be calmer throughout the day. I would have a baseline of joy that I think would be pretty unshakable. I would, I wouldn't feel bad about pursuing any sort of opportunity that came into my life. I wouldn't have to double check it, double think it, go and process emotions about it. I could just be with it, and it would be like the red tape is taken off and I could just go. Yeah.
Do you feel loved?
I do. I'm actually really happy to say that I do. I feel very loved right now. I do. I feel mostly loved by myself. Um, I feel like I'm at this point where I'm almost at the point where I can say, if no one loved me at all, I'd still be fine because I love myself enough.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for being on the hot seat.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you for going there and to going to those spaces. I didn't know that that's where we'd go today, but that's the beauty of the hot seat is you never know where you're going to go. You're just going to go.
Yeah, and I'm really touched by your wisdom and your self-awareness and your willingness. And yeah, that was amazing. So thank you truly so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much for holding space for my honesty and giving me that like juicy full sensation of intention and